So let's talk about Oman. The country is in the middle of a really significant economic shift. For a long time, its economy ran a certain way, but now there's a huge new plan on the table called Vision 2040. And right at the very heart of this whole thing is a new way of thinking about its workforce, a strategy they're calling Omanization 2.0. We're going to break down what that actually means.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at the big picture, Oman's Vision 2040. Then, we'll get into the major hurdle they're facing, something called the skills gap. After that, we'll dive into the new strategy itself, this shift from just filling quotas to building real capability. And finally, we'll see what this means for both businesses and for the talent on the ground.
All right, first up, what's really driving this massive national effort? Well, it all boils down to this one powerful goal, Oman's Vision 2040. And you know, this isn't just about some quick fixes. It's a full-on blueprint for a more sustainable, more diversified economy, one that can really hold its own in the 21st century. And at the core of Vision 2040 is this one really eye-popping number, 40%. The goal is that within the next decade, 40% of all jobs in the private sector will be held by Omani nationals. Now, to be clear, that's not just a small tweak. That is a fundamental overhaul of the country's entire economic landscape.
A 40% target, that's incredibly ambitious. So it begs the question, right? How do you actually get there? Because a goal like that is more than just a number on a piece of paper. It means you've got to face some very real challenges head-on.
So, the single biggest obstacle, the main thing standing in the way of this vision, is what economists call the skills gap. It's a pretty simple idea, but with huge consequences. It's a mismatch between the skills that businesses are desperate for and the skills that the local workforce currently has.
And you see this gap most clearly in the parts of the economy that are growing the fastest. I'm talking about fields like cybersecurity, data analytics, cloud computing, and AI. Companies are really struggling to find qualified people, but there's this critical shortage of trained Omani professionals who are ready to jump into these future-focused roles. So the big question is, how do you close that gap? Well, Oman's answer is to completely shift away from its old model. And this brings us right to the heart of our story today, this brand new approach called Omanization 2.0. And here's the absolutely crucial change in thinking. The old way was all about one thing, hitting a hiring quota, just getting a number. But Omanization 2.0, it's different. It's a strategic move towards developing valuable skills that make the individual employee and the entire company more competitive on a global stage. Let's break that down. The old mindset was basically just about compliance. It was reactive. The goal was just to fill a seat, to meet a government target. The new mindset, though, is proactive. It's about building real capability and creating a talent pool that's ready not just for Oman, but for the global economy.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. It's actually being written into law. A recent decree is a total game changer because it officially recognizes flexible work arrangements, like part-time and remote jobs. Now, why is that such a big deal? Well, it makes jobs in the private sector way more attractive to Omanis who might have preferred the stability of government work. It just dramatically expands the talent pool.
But look, government policy can only take you so far. This kind of transformation needs a huge shift from the private sector too. So, what exactly do businesses need to start doing differently to make Omanization 2.0 a reality? The new playbook for companies really comes down to 3 key actions. First, invest in skills. Stop thinking about just hiring to fill a quota and start thinking about upskilling your whole team. Second, make your company a better place to work. Offer clear career paths, real flexibility. And third, start using data. Make smarter, evidence-based decisions about who you need to hire and what skills you need to develop.
But this isn't a one-way street. Companies can't do this all on their own. The professionals in Oman, they themselves have a huge role to play if they want to seize these new opportunities.
So for individuals, the message is pretty straightforward. You have to take ownership of your own career path. This means actively looking for training, getting valuable certifications in those high-demand fields like data and cybersecurity, and maybe, most importantly, adopting a mindset of continuous, lifelong learning.
And when you combine those two things, when you have businesses strategically investing in their people and individuals proactively investing in their own skills, that's when you start to lay the foundation for a truly competitive national economy. And that really is the ultimate goal here. Omanization 2.0 isn't just about getting more jobs for citizens. It's about using that national talent to build a stronger, more dynamic private sector,
one that can actually compete and win on the world stage.
The strategy is there, the shift has already started. The big question now is whether this new partnership, this new social contract between businesses and talent, can truly transform Oman's economy for the generations to come. The ambition is clear. Now the world is watching to see if the execution can match it.